You probably think you are too smart to be manipulated. You do not click on suspicious links. You read the fine print. You analyze your options before spending your money. But here is the terrifying truth. Behavioral psychologists know, and you do not. The higher your IQ, the easier it is to control your mind. In fact, the modern consumer economy is designed to exploit one specific weakness that only smart people have. You are not being manipulated despite your intelligence.
Who's the real pest?
You are being manipulated because of it. You consider yourself smart. You analyze your options. You weigh the pros and cons. But if you look closely at your bank account, your calendar, and your daily routine, you will find a trail of terrible decisions. Decisions that drain your money and waste your time. You are not stupid. You are just operating exactly how you were designed to operate. Welcome to the psychology of your worst decisions. Today we are going to expose the exact moment you lose control. And more importantly, we are going to show you the hidden cost of staying on autopilot. Let us start with a simple truth. Your brain is incredibly lazy. It has to be. Every single day, you are bombarded with thousands of micro-decisions. What to wear, what to eat, what to say, where to click. If your brain actually processed every single piece of information logically, you would collapse from exhaustion by 10 in the morning. So, biology created a survival mechanism. It is called the default bias. When an average person makes a bad financial decision, they usually admit they made a mistake. But when a highly intelligent person falls into a trap, their ego refuses to accept it. This is your ultimate blind spot. Instead of admitting you were played by clever marketing, your powerful brain instantly invents a logical excuse to justify a purely emotional choice. The invisible architects of the economy know this. They do not have to force you to buy something useless. They just have to give your massive intellect a few data points, and you will do the manipulating for them. You become your own worst enemy. Think about the free trials you sign up for. You tell yourself you will cancel before the 30 days are up. You are smart, right? But the company knows you better than you know yourself. They know that once your credit card is in the system, the default bias takes over. Doing nothing is easier than doing something. So you pay, and you keep paying. You are bleeding money $5 at a time, simply because your brain is trying to save energy. This is not an accident. It is a feature of modern consumer psychology. You are paying a laziness tax, but the default bias does not just steal your money, it steals your potential. It is the reason you stay in a bad relationship. It is the reason you stay in a dead-end job. It is not because you are happy. It is because staying is the default, and leaving requires effort. Your brain chooses the familiar misery over the unknown opportunity every single time. Now you might be thinking, okay, I just need to pay more attention. I need to make better choices. But here is the terrifying part. The choices you see are not the only choices that exist. They are just the choices someone else wants you to see. This is called choice architecture, and the architects are everywhere. Walk into any supermarket. You think you are choosing what to buy, but the expensive brands are placed exactly at eye level. The essentials, like milk and eggs, are hidden at the very back of the store. This forces you to walk past thousands of temptations just to get what you actually need. The layout is a physical maze designed by behavioral psychologists to break your self-control. Open your phone. The apps are not designed for your convenience. They are designed for your addiction. The infinite scroll, the red notification badges, the auto-playing videos. These are not random design choices. They are calculated psychological triggers. They are exploiting your dopamine system to keep you staring at a screen, trading your most valuable asset, your time, for absolutely nothing. The architects know exactly how your brain works. They know how to bypass your logic and speak directly to your impulses. They construct an environment where the wrong choice feels like the only logical option. You are playing a game where the rules were written by the house, and the house always wins. So far, we have talked about coffee, subscriptions, and supermarkets. Small things, everyday traps, but the invisible architects do not stop there. The exact same psychology that tricks you into buying a candy bar at the checkout line is being used to dictate the biggest decisions of your entire life. We are talking about the car you drive, the house you live in, the massive debt you willingly take on. You think you bought that expensive car because you like how it drives? You think you upgraded your phone because you needed a better camera? No. You did it because you have been conditioned to believe that your worth is tied to what you consume. You are trading years of your life, working a job you hate, just to pay for things that were sold to you through psychological manipulation. The Matrix is not a computer simulation. It is the global consumer economy, and you are powering it with your worst decisions. But why is it so hard to stop? Why, even when you realize you are trapped, do you refuse to let go? The answer lies in the most destructive psychological bias of all, and that is exactly what we are going to expose next. Think about something you own right now that you do not use: a subscription, a gym membership, a piece of expensive technology sitting in a drawer. You know you are wasting money. You know you should cancel it. You know you should sell it, but you do not. Why? If you were a completely logical machine, you would cut your losses immediately. But you are human, and human beings are deeply biologically programmed to hate losing. This is called loss aversion, and it is the invisible chain keeping you tied to your worst decisions. Behavioral economists have proven that the psychological pain of losing something is twice as powerful as the pleasure of gaining something equal. Losing $50 hurts much more than finding $50 feels good. This simple glitch in your brain is exploited by every major company on Earth. When you try to cancel a subscription, what happens? They do not just say goodbye. They show you exactly what you are going to lose: your playlists, your data, your premium status. Suddenly, keeping a service you do not even use feels safer than the psychological pain of letting it go. But loss aversion goes much deeper than money. It creates the sunk cost fallacy. This is the exact reason why people stay in terrible careers for decades. You think to yourself, I have already invested 5 years into this job. If I quit now, all that time was wasted. Listen carefully. That time is already gone. You cannot get it back. But your brain will trick you into sacrificing the next 10 years of your life just to avoid admitting that the last 5 were a mistake. You are paying for yesterday's bad decisions with tomorrow's potential. Now, here is where it gets dangerous: the ego blind spot. You might be watching this thinking, this makes sense for other people, but I am too smart to fall for this. If you believe that, you are the easiest target in the room. Highly intelligent people actually make some of the worst financial and life decisions. Why? Because smart people are better at rationalizing their mistakes. When a smart person makes a bad purchase, they do not admit they were manipulated by clever marketing. Their ego will not allow it. Instead, their brain invents a logical reason to justify the emotional choice. You buy a luxury car you cannot afford, and suddenly, you are an expert on its resale value and safety features. You did not buy a car. You bought an identity, and your intellect is just acting as the lawyer, defending a decision your impulses already made. So, how do you stop it? How do you regain control when your own biology and the entire modern economy are working against you? You cannot rewire millions of years of human evolution, but you can hack the system. It is called the friction override. Right now, the architects of the consumer economy have made bad decisions frictionless. One-click buying, auto renewals, contactless payments. They removed all the friction so your brain never has time to wake up and say, no. To take back control, you have to put the friction back. You have to make your bad habits difficult and your good habits the default. Start small. Go into your phone and delete your saved credit card information from your favorite shopping apps. Force yourself to stand up, find your wallet, and manually type in those 16 numbers every single time you want to buy something. That tiny amount of friction, that 30-second pause, is enough to snap your brain out of the default bias. It forces you to switch from autopilot to active thinking. Do the exact opposite for your wealth. Automate your savings. Automate your investments. Make building wealth the default, so that going broke actually requires effort. The people who control their lives do not have superhuman willpower. They simply design an environment where doing the right thing is the easiest option. Every single day, the world is trying to make your choices for you. The layout of the store, the algorithm on your screen, the notifications in your pocket, they are all designed to keep you comfortable, compliant, and continuously spending. You are not incompetent. You are just fighting an invisible war against your own psychology. But now, you see the architects. You know how the trap works, and awareness is the first step to breaking out. The question is, what is the very next decision you are going to make today? Will it be yours, or will it be theirs? Look around you. The trap is already set. If you want to know how the system uses your own desire for freedom to keep you locked in a cage, watch the next video on the screen, because the deeper you go, the more you realize. Nothing is by accident.